The Land of the Unknown by Jessica Cook. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Variable X. Variable X lived in the land of the unknown. Variable X wanted more than anything to discover his value. His best friend, Variable J, had just discovered that his value is 10. Once you discover who you are, then you are considered an adult. Until then, you are just a child or unknown. So Variable X set out on his journey to find his value. First, he visited Expression Road. On Expression Road, you can find numerous terms, or parts of an expression separated by a plus or minus sign, that include one's variable name. Of course, Variable X was looking for any expression that included X. He quickly found the expression 2x plus 8 scribbled on the sidewalk of Expression Road. This expression includes two terms, because 2x and 8 are separated by a plus sign. Variable X knew the number in front of his name. The 2 is called a coefficient. A number directly next to a variable always represents multiplication. The coefficient times the variable. The number added to his name, the 8, is called a constant. No matter the value of X, 8 will constantly be added to his value. Variable X left Expression Road feeling defeated. He knew an expression does not have an equal sign. You cannot solve an expression for a variable. You can simply plug in a value for a variable if it is given or known. Unfortunately, Variable X had not departed from the land of the unknown. Variable X then headed to Equation Road. His best friend, Variable J, had discovered his value there. On Equation Road, you can find things that look very similar to expressions, but they have a key difference, an equal sign. An equation is a mathematical sentence that uses numbers, variables, mathematical operations, and an equal sign. On Equation Road, Variable X spotted an equation with his variable, 2x plus 4 plus 3x equals 24. This equation looked complicated with the 4 terms, 2 coefficients, and 2 constants. However, Variable X was desperate to discover his value. Variable X knew that in order to discover his value, he would have to isolate his name, X. First, he had to combine like terms. Like terms include variables that have the same power. 2x and 3x are like terms. Since they are on the same side of the equation, Variable X knew he could simply add them together to make 5x. Now Variable X has 5x plus 4 equals 24. To find his value, he must move the 5 and 4 to the other side of the equation. To move a number to the other side of an equal sign, you must perform the inverse operation on both sides. If you don't do something to both sides, then you no longer have a balanced equation. When undoing operations, you must follow the order of operations backwards. This means Variable X should get rid of the 4 first. Since addition and subtraction are opposites, the 4 will be subtracted from both sides, leaving him with 5x equals 20. Variable X is so close to discovering his value. Lastly, he must get rid of the coefficient 5. Again, he must do the inverse operation on 5. Since we know 5 is a coefficient and represents multiplication, he must do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. After dividing by 5 on both sides, Variable X discovers his value. It's 4. Variable X runs to the gates of the land of the known, excited about his discovery. He is greeted at the gates by Mr. Inequality. Mr. Inequality asks for his values. Variable X exclaims, "I'm a 4." Mr. Inequality shakes his head and says to him, "Your work is far from done. There are millions of equations with Variable X out there, not to mention all the inequalities. Go back to Equation Road, then visit Inequality Road. After that, you may return to the land of the known and tell me your value." Variable X walks away hoping that he would find out just what Mr. Inequality meant. The end.